Jason Abbott here with Upshift Online. We're out here in the Idaho single track on the 2021 WR250F. This is a bike that we spent some time with. Maybe you've seen the original video where we rode the bike, gave our first impressions, and listed kind of all the features and upgrades. If you haven't seen that, click the link below. You can check it out now. But like I said, we're just getting going out here. We're jumping on the bike. Yeah, I've made a couple little adjustments so far, rolling the bars back and adjusting the levers. I've changed a little bit on the suspension, but just to kind of get myself comfortable. Since the intro video, we've changed quite a bit on the bike, from the Yamaha WR250F pipe to the GYTR tuner and a host of other parts to kind of make the bike run a little bit better. Suspension and chassis, the Race Tech suspension, the seat concept seat, all those, the hand guards, stuff like that are all trail focused and kind of set up for what we're going to be doing out here. Like I said, we're just getting going. We just hopped on the bike, just kind of getting the first initial feel for the bike or whatnot. I can already tell you that the Recluse clutch on this bike is amazing. There's a few sections over there that I might have second guessed on a 450 and then had to think about going up to it. But with this bike, the lightweight of the bike, the solid power, the good Recluse clutch, I went over it like it was nothing. So like I said, we're just getting going. I look forward to kind of breaking the bike down a little bit more at the end and kind of give you guys my first overall impression. But like I said, I'm really excited about riding this bike. 250s on the trail is where I think that you need to be. So like I said, look forward to more, and we'll see you soon. All right, so we're going to give you a rundown of what we did over here with this bike. Start at the top. This is a seat concept seat. This is a must-have for the trail riding. A lot of the moto guys, they don't really get it, but if you ride off-road, you got to have a seat concept seat on your bike. All right, so next, the suspension. The Yamaha SSF fork has always been a favorite of mine. The overall package of this bike is basically from a YZ. This has championship blood in it, but the suspension has been toned down for off-road, and so in stock form it does all right, but we were looking for a little bit better compliance on the trail, like the small bumps, the small chop, the rocks, the tree roots, stuff like that. So Race Tech went through, they revalved it, got it all dialed in for us. Overall, I'm super happy with it. I did do some adjustments. I softened it up a little bit more. I wanted it to just kind of soak up the rocks, kind of soak up the terrain. I didn't really want to feel a lot of the terrain, a lot of the feedback. So initially there was a little bit of feedback. So I dialed it in a little bit, like I said, softened up the fork too, softened up the shock too. I backed out a little bit of the high speed on the shock. And then I also opened up the rebound on the fork a little bit just to kind of get it to move a little bit more. But overall, I'm very happy with the Race Tech suspension. I think that with a little bit more time, I can dial it in a little bit better, but compared to stock, this is definitely a plus. So as far as gearing, we changed it a little bit. We went with a 1350. So basically what we're trying to accomplish is to kind of calm down the initial throttle on the slow speed stuff. We were just getting a little bit too much feedback from the throttle, and so we wanted to mellow it out, and with that, the new gearing, it kind of pulls a little bit smoother off the bottom, which we really like. So with the Yamaha's Off-Road 250, obviously it doesn't have a ton of power, but in stock form, it did have a little bit kind of like a jumpy bottom. So, by changing the gearing, we kind of, addressed that, but also we installed the Recluse clutch, the auto clutch. It does mellow it out even more, but man, I think by far this was probably my favorite upgrade with this bike. Coming from a moto background, you don't really spend a lot of time with the Recluse. But now that I'm riding off-road a lot more, man, I can really see the value in that. And especially with this bike, just making it to where it's a little bit smoother on delivery. Like I said, the Recluse, yeah, was, I think, hands down the favorite on this bike for sure. In stock 4 in the WR250F is a little bit choked up. So what we wanted to do is open it up a little bit more and make it a little bit more enjoyable to ride. So we put a GYTR race ECU in there. That obviously right away sparks it up. But then also we have a YZ250F intake boot. And then we also take out the throttle stop inside of the stock housing. So, you know, those three things really, really wake the bike up. It kind of moves it more into the FX and kind of more of the off-road performance side. And then also can't forget the Yoshimura RS12. That system, along with all the GYTR products, definitely makes this bike more enjoyable, more fun, more exciting, all the above. So we're happy with that for sure. All right, so you can't do off-roading without the IMS products. So this is actually a 2.8 gas tank that replaces the stock one. You definitely get closer to the 100-mile mark with that. To be honest, I was a little bit nervous about where the placement of the gas cap was. I won't say anything past that, but I'm happy to report that yes, I did kind of feel it a few times, but it didn't damage anything. Also from IMS, we have the IMS core pegs. Those pegs are really, really good. They reduce some of the vibration coming through the frame. They're just more solid feel when you're riding them off-road and on the bike. So, you know, the IMS products are definitely an off-road staple. All right, so move on to the protection part of the game on the off-road scene. With this WR250, we put bulletproof radiator guards, super heavy duty. You are gonna fall. You know, going through all these rocks, going through all these roots and the tough terrain, it's just part of the game. You're gonna fall. So with those radiator guards, it definitely helps keep you safe, keeps you know going on the trail. To move on from that, we have the Atrubis handguards, again a must on off-road, and then we also have Atrubis skid plate to protect from all the rocks. As you can see, we have Atrubis plastics. We run Atrubis on all the Upshift Online bikes, and then also the sweet Upshift graphics. So let's talk about the tires. Shinko set us up with a few tires with this bike. We have the Cheater 505 on the rear. I really like the rear. I think the Cheater tire is amazing in these off-road conditions. Up front, we have the 216 90/90, a little bit bigger, but man, I really want to try that Cheater on the front. This one was good, but I wanted a little bit more kind of bite and a little bit better feel from the front tire. So again, next ride, I'm going to try that Cheater for sure. Overall, you know, I think I really had a really good time with this bike. I was really excited to get on a 250 on the trail. This is something, I'm more of a 450 guy, and so for me, being on the trail, these type of trails out here in Idaho, it's a little bit of a handful. So I was really looking forward to riding this 250. Now that we've spent a good amount of time on it, I'm really, really happy with it. I did make a few changes, but overall, everything that the guys at Upshift did, I think it really translates well to the terrain out here in Idaho.